guys. So I am going to talk to you about extracts from The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir, and this is translated by Constance, Borde, and Sheila Malovany-Chevallier. There are their names in case I'm pronouncing them incorrectly. This is incredible. So this, if you don't know Simone de Beauvoir, she wrote this in 1949. She was kind of like in a relationship with Jean-Paul Sartre. I don't know how to pronounce his name either. Sorry, I'm also really tired just writing it. So I think that's like wonderful. They're both like brilliant people. This is an argument for feminism, I guess, kind of, but basically just like shows all of the things that occur in society and the way that women are treated in a specific way that prevents them from being equals to men. She talks a lot about how brotherhood can't, like brotherhood between the sexes, and that it shouldn't be a man and a woman. It should just be that we're human beings, and that's how we should be treated. And yeah, I think this was absolutely brilliant. I mentioned in my Friday reads, but this includes the introduction, the chapter 14, and the conclusion. And I am definitely going to be reading the full text at some point. I think this is a really good place. It's kind of like, the Penguin had the ADP, the little black classics, and they're like excerpts from something or like small snippets. I think it's really good because it's not super daunting. It's really small. So if you want to get a taste of it, you don't have to commit to the full text, but you can still kind of get some of her points. I think the introduction was the most like, oh my gosh, like, ooh, part of the book. And chapter 14 is about the independent woman, and it talks a lot about sexuality and all kinds of things. And it's so incredible. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and yeah, I definitely want to read more feminist texts. I don't think that I'm not a very intelligent person. Not that I'm not smart. I just I don't know. It's really nice to read a book that encompasses everything that you're thinking and feeling, but it's like put together in a really nice, intelligent manner. Because I have trouble with words a lot of the times. I'm more of like an emotive feeling person, so I describe how I'm feeling with like grunts and like hand gestures towards other people. That has nothing to do with this. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so this is really good. And I'm going to read a couple of excerpts from it. Like, I'm going to read a couple of little parts that I tabbed, just to get you kind of like a feel of what it is like. So if you don't want to listen to that, you can, I'll see you later. I'll see you next time. Okay, so this is from the introduction, and she talks about, maybe I don't need to read it. I'm going to read this over here. But there are deep analogies between the situations of women and blacks. Both are liberated today from the same paternalism, and the former master caste wants to keep them in their place. That is, the place chosen for them. In both cases, they praise more or less sincerely the virtues of the good black, the carefree, childlike, merry soul of the resigned black, and the woman who is a true woman. Frivolous, infantile, irresponsible, the woman subjugated to man. In both cases, the ruling caste based its argument on the state of affairs it created itself. The familiar line from George Bernard Shaw sums it up. The white American relegates the black to the rank of shoeshine boy, and then concludes that blacks are only good for shining shoes. The same vicious circle can be found in all analogous circumstances. When an individual or a group of individuals is kept in a situation of inferiority, the fact is that he or they are inferior. But the scope of the verb to be must be understood. Bad faith means giving it a substantive value, when in fact it has a sense of the Hegelian dynamic. To be is to have become, to have been made as one manifests oneself. Yes, women in general are today inferior to men. That is, their situation provides them with fewer possibilities. The question is whether this state of affairs must be perpetuated. And there's like another part in here too where she talks about how like when men are having conversations with women and they say that like, oh, any idea that a woman has, she like took from a man, basically. And I mean, it's not her. She's just like using examples from other people from her time period. There's a quote by Michel Carroug from Cahiers de Sud, number 929. He writes with indignation, if only there were no feminine myth, but only bands of cooks, matrons, prostitutes, and blue stockings with functions of pleasure or utility. So according to him, woman has no existence for herself. He only takes into account her function in the male world. Her finality is in man. In fact, it is possible to prefer her poetic function to all others. The exact question is why she should be defined in relation to the man. I don't know. I just think it's like super, super good. I have one more part, but I forget. Okay. The fact is that men encounter more complicity in their women companions than the oppressor usually finds in the oppressed. And in bad faith, they use it as a pretext to declare that woman wanted the destiny they imposed on her. We have seen that in reality, her whole education conspires to bar her from paths of revolt and adventure. All of society, beginning with her respected parents, lies to her in extolling the high value of love, devotion, and the gift of self, and in concealing the fact that neither lover, husband, nor children will be disposed to bear the burdensome responsibility of it. She carefully accepts these lies because they invite her to take the easy slope, and that is the worst of the crimes committed against her. From her childhood and throughout her life, she is spoiled. She is corrupted by the fact that this resignation, tempting to any existent anxious about her freedom, is meant to be her vocation. If one encourages a child to be lazy by entertaining him all day, without giving him the occasion to study, without showing him its value, no one will say when he reaches the age of man that he chose to be incapable and ignorant. This is how the woman is raised. Without ever being taught the necessity of assuming her own existence, she readily lets herself count on the protection, love, help, and guidance of others. She lets herself be fascinated by the hope of being able to realize her being without doing anything. She is wrong to yield to this temptation, but the man is ill-advised to reproach her for it, since it is he himself who tempted her. When a conflict breaks out between them, each one will blame the other for the situation. She will blame him for creating it. No one taught me to reason to earn my living. He will blame her for accepting it. You know nothing, you are incompetent. Each sex thinks it can justify itself by taking the offensive, but the wrongs of one do not absolve the other. Anyways, sorry, this video is like super long, but most of that you don't have to watch. So I just think it's incredible. This was written like a bit ago, and I do feel like things have changed slightly, but not that much. I would really, really recommend reading this. It's very fascinating. Have a good day.